Greetings folks, and welcome back or welcome to the channel, whichever the case may be. Well, in today's video I'm going to be looking at a new knife, and this is the Muthos homura field knife. Now, brief explanation: I've been sent this knife for review. I did not pay for it. I had this specifically from the company to review. I also had a saw. The saw was a gift. It was not for review, but I'm going to use it anyway. Now, it's a nice day. There's very little wind, but it rained heavily last night, and me being here now has woken up the midges, so I need to get a fire going quickly. So my regular kind of review, where I'll batten down a sizable round and do everything from that, tinder, kindling, everything from the one round. I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to get a fire going quickly because I don't want to be bitten by midges. I will be doing quite a bit of battening later to test this knife out, but for the initial fire lighting I'm going to use what's around my vicinity, and there's quite a bit of wood around here, to be fair. I'm going to get it going quick. I will make one feather stick and light it with my ferro rod and the knife, but it'll be mainly a twig affair, so a quick fire. Right then, let's get to it. There we go, quick fire, little bit of batoning just to get a feather stick. Not a very good feather stick, I might add, but it went up. Spine was good. Grind for feather sticking, not great. Well, the fire's burning nicely. I'm just going to take a minute or two now to chat about the knife, and first of all the saw. Right, so here's the saw. It's a pretty standard sort of size folding saw. It's got a rubber grip to it, which is quite comfortable. But my main concern with this saw, it's also got two settings. So if you're cutting close to the ground, why anybody cut close to the ground, I don't know. But it's there if you do. The teeth are incredibly small. Now it worked really well on that piece of hazel hardwood, seasoned, bone dry. It worked great, no complaints at all. But I'm not sure if them small teeth are going to clog up when I cut something a bit softer or a bit wetter, damper I should say. Now, usually when I do my knife reviews, as I said earlier, I'll cut a big log and I'll section it down and make my feather sticks and everything out of that. Because the bugs today, I wanted to get a fire going quick. Well, the knife worked just well. Didn't feather that well, but to be fair, it wasn't the best piece of wood. So I'm going to go to the woods now, go in the woods. I'm going to cut a round or two of dead standing. I'm going to split them down and I'm going to make some nice feather sticks. So as I always do it. Now, I'm not going to put this knife on my belt. There's a simple reason, because these clips are really fiddly and they don't work anyway. Yes, so a design flaw with the sheath. The sheath is no good. Right, so I'm going to go in the woods now and I'm going to cut that piece of timber. So we'll see how well the saw works on that slightly bigger, softer wood. Right, so this piece here is full of knots. So I'm going to cut that off and I'm going to attempt to split through all them knots, and then the section after it is nice and straight, tinder in the form of feather sticks and kindling. Well, it worked just fine, but this is a brand new fresh blade. Did the job, but it was slow. Yeah, I think them small teeth, they are more for smaller, harder, drier wood. Right, back to camp. I think I'll batten down the nice knot-free piece first. Get me warmed up for the nasty piece, because the other piece is nasty. Normally I would have just cut that section of branches and nasty knots out and just burnt that. Bark off first. So knot free. We've got two. but they're only small. Well, it's in. Well, that did a sterling job. I don't think a 3mm bushcraft knife would have done that. Yes, I know I went from both sides and then whacked it to the middle, but that's what that's for. It's a good battening knife, definitely. Yes, I can't grumble at all about that. I'm going to check the edge. Now, when I received it, it was shaving sharp. Now, if you watch Dutch bushcraft knives, they did a review on this and they did an edge retention test on it, and they said that the steel was excellent. Well, it still shaves. Well, that's that round taken care of. Not much of a problem. I think it would probably perform better if it had a convex on both sides rather than that rather strange configuration of convex on one side and flat grind on the other. I think it would, but that's just me. I'm going to build my fire up now. It's going okay. I've been throwing twigs on it, but I need a cup of tea. It's that time. Right then, time to test this for some feather sticks. Unfortunately, it didn't split particularly well, considering it was quite a straight round. But I got a few here, so I'm going to make some feather sticks. Right, so straight away it's digging in. It's digging in considerably. I did have a feeling that was going to happen. And this handle, it's just too square. I think I'm going to have some pain after making a few of these. So I'm gripping so hard, I'm feeling pain right by here. If I loosen my grip, it's just the blade just goes all shapes because it's so slicey. What I'm thinking is, I'm cutting in on that grind, which is the flat grind. Now, if it was the other way round and the convex grind was on that side, I think things would be different. I think it'd be a lot easier to make a feather stick with. Right, well, I was thinking of making about 4 or 5, but it's not going to happen because I got this shooting pain going up here because I'm gripping so hard. But what I'll do, I like that with a ferro rod. I could persevere with that and get some tidy little curls to light with a ferro rod, like I did when I lit the fire. But I think this will probably be excellent for making kindling feather sticks. Right, let's just make a spike. Right, piece of cake pointing a piece of wood. So this, well, this is going to turn itself into a tent peg now. Well, it's fine with a basic carving task. Slicey grinds always are. Right, let's talk about this sheath. Leather sheath, reasonable quality. Bit flimsy in my opinion. Massive belt loop. Double studs, which on the belt would just be a real faff. And it doesn't work. Stitching's a bit ropey on the back, and that ferro rod loop is too loose. You know, as a general utility knife, I'm sure it'll cut food just perfectly because it's slicey. Bushcraft knife, it ain't. Utility survival knife with a few tweaks, yes, it definitely has got legs, as they say. Some sharp edges which need to be got rid of, and they need to rethink that handle because it's far too square. Yes, so on the whole, not my kind of knife. I'm sure it has its place, just not in my pack, I'm afraid. I'll just mention the saw. Saw works well, it's comfortable. Them teeth are more for crafting. They are good on hardwoods, seasoned hardwoods. Cutting rounds down, it's just too slow, and they are going to clog. Working well now because it's brand new. Give that a few weeks of use, it's going to blunten a bit. Every saw does. That's going to clog a lot easier. So yes, a great crafting saw, and from my memory these aren't particularly expensive, so maybe a good alternative to a Laplander, who knows. But yeah, it was catching a bit when I cut that big round down. Now, I'm not going to batten that big round down because the knife just isn't big enough. It's not going to go through them knots, so I'm not going to bother. Yeah, I like the saw. It has its place. A Kydex sheath, deeper, slimmer, micarta handle, and a convex grind on both sides would sort that out. Right, thanks for watching. I appreciate your comments, I appreciate your views, and I certainly appreciate a thumbs up. Till the next time, ta-ra. But I'm not sure if it'll clog up. Wait for this plane to go past. Come on, plane, piss off.